Here's the top 6 businesses to buy in 2026. 2026 should be a really good year for the economy. Ignore the doomsdayers looking for clicks. We're setting up for a really good year. The 2026 tax refund is going to be the biggest on record, so consumers are going to have lots of cash in their pockets starting at the end of the first quarter. We're just now really going to start to see the effects of interest rate cuts. With the new 100% bonus depreciation from the One Big Beautiful Bill, businesses are going to be looking to invest and grow in 2026. And through some technical factors, the Fed's actually going to pick back up with their quantitative easing program, likely sometime early next year. So we've got stimulus everywhere, and the consumer is heading to the year in pretty good shape. The labor market is in pretty good shape, so we're expecting 2026 to be a pretty good year. And the great news for the acquisition market is typically M&A activity tends to pick up when the economy is doing well. So we should hopefully see more deal flow this year. This also means from an economic perspective, from a business side, the tide should be rising all boats. With that said, we still want to be careful with the type of businesses we buy. This doesn't mean we should go out and buy something highly cyclical. We should still buy something that can make it through the cycle, because you're likely using 10-year debt to buy this business. So even though the economy is looking good for at least the next 6 to 9 months, who knows what's going to happen after that. So here's our top 6 for 2026. Now, number 1 are home services. Now, this includes things like extermination, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. Now, these can be great businesses to buy. There's high demand for their services, but only a small number of people can buy most of these businesses. 3 out of those 4 require licenses that take a long time to get. So you can only look at a plumbing business if you have a plumbing license. You can only look at HVAC if you have the license. You can only look at electrical if you have the license. The extermination, there are licenses that you need, but they're usually much easier to get. So that's an area that might be open to a wider range of individuals. Number 2 is home care, and specifically home care for people with disabilities. And we like the businesses here that are funded by local governments. So typically they're paid for by the county for people to take care of individuals with severe disabilities. So this might be 24/7 care for someone with a severe disability, paid for by the county. Number 3 is restoration. Now, we love restoration businesses, but this is another area where you need a certain background. You really want to have a general contractor's background if you're going to buy a restoration business, because you can make a lot of money not only going in and cleaning up after a disaster or some type of event, but you get paid to rebuild, and that's where the money's at. And that's why these businesses are best owned by people with general contracting background. Number 4, it's going to be a well-established pizza shop. Now, a wider range of people can operate this because it's a relatively simple business, but we're looking for businesses that have been around for a while. So we don't want to go and buy the niche pizza shop that's been around for a few years. We want the community staple that's been part of the community for 10, 15, 20 years. Those can really be the best businesses to own. And in fact, one of our best cash flowing businesses that we own personally is a pizza shop. Number 5 is garage door repair. Now, these fall into the category of need, not want. It also falls into that home service category, but it's one that doesn't require as difficult of licensure as some of the others. So it's a type of business that more people could come in and buy. And our 6th, it's more of a category. Now, these are businesses that work really well for someone with a sales background, or specifically even a sales management background, because there is a difference between being a salesperson and a sales manager. And kind of depending on the size of the business you buy, you might be going into the salesperson role and you might be going into the sales manager role. And those aren't always the same skill set. But the types of businesses that fit someone with a great sales background are often, there's distribution companies, all kinds of different, especially in manufacturing. They have third-party distributors that are parts of selling their products. So those can be great businesses. Staffing is a great business for people with a strong sales background, and specialized retail. So, we looked at a piano store, a place that sold $100,000 pianos, also sold less expensive pianos. That's something that's also really good for someone with a strong sales background. It's something that people aren't going to buy from Amazon. They're going to buy locally. So you have some entrenchment from big online retailers. And if you need help finding the right business for you, click the link in our bio, apply for our partner program, and we can do an analysis to see what's a good fit for you, and we can buy a business together.